So today I'm going to be talking about setbacks and how, a setback isn't a loss. It's not something that's going to, completely wipe you out. We all have different setbacks that happen to us in life, whether it's in business, whether it's in relationships. And the reason I'm thinking about this is because I actually just had a recent setback myself. So, I'm at a position right now where I'm trying to grow my company, right? I'm trying to go into growth mode, right? We just came out of what I would call building mode, where, we were actually putting everything together, putting together the infrastructure, putting together the systems and the practices that we can use to just run constantly all the time, you know what I mean? And that's the mode that I was just in for the last couple of months, and I had hit some setbacks that actually put me into that mode. And one of the setbacks was, I lost like half of my clients, right? Like I lost half of my clients and half of my income. Actually, it was more than half of my income. So that was like a major hit. That was a major setback. So that was like major setback number one. You always have these little hiccups or these, interesting wrinkles along the way, but that right there was setback number one. So I had lost my clients, I had lost half my income, and I was feeling pretty like down. I was like, dang, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like funny because I was at a point where it was like it was starting to build. I was starting to gain momentum. I was starting to pick up, and I could actually, I had like a vision, like I could see, the future starting to get bright, as they say, and and basically that kind of just all kind of came to an end. And unfortunately, that was the situation. So I had a major setback. And from there, it really caused some, some stressful, some strenuous times, man, not only within myself, but, within my relationship as well, too. And, it was tough. But that setback, actually forced me to, step back, kind of look at my business and see what I was doing, and, see, what I was, what people were really paying me for, all of my best clients, and even though that was a setback and it was a major setback, I always say like the one part I try to be grateful for is that, they were bad clients anyway. They weren't paying on time the way they were supposed to. It was just like, I don't know, you had to chase them down to, so they were bad clients. So I lost them. It was unfortunate when I lost them because I lost a good chunk of income, but it was also a blessing in disguise too, because by losing them, I was able to look at the good clients that I had and focus on what I was doing for them and then start to do more of that. So that setback right there, major setback, number one, at least within my business, that really took a toll, not only on my business, but in my personal life as well. So setback number one forced me to really look at my business, right? And it forced me to say, okay, like, what am I doing? How am I doing it? How can I improve upon it? And how can I, expand and bring it to more people? So I was just in, so that put me into build mode, and that build mode allowed me to look at what I was doing, what was taking up most of my time, and really start to systematize and delegate different tasks that, I could do them, but my time would be better spent doing other things, right? Because we were in, we were just in the build mode. So I'm trying to fine tune the process, make it as smooth and as quick and repeatable as possible, because the more repeatable it is, or duplicatable it is, the more you can scale it. So that's where we're at. We're in build mode. And it was like everything was like starting to fall into place, right? Once again, here we go. This is leading up to setback number two. So once again, the system was put into place, right? It was like, okay, the system was clicking, we're still fine tuning it as we go, but we got basically the prototype, right? So we have the prototype. Now we can say, okay, let's go take this prototype and offer it out. Let's go build it. Let's go scale it. And for me, I do video and photography. So when I say prototype, I mean, the product that, we're moving, our strategy, our package, right? But we had the prototype, and that's everything from the front end to the back end, right? From not only, going out and doing a job, but getting that customer, from customer acquisition to customer fulfillment, right? That's the prototype I'm talking about. And so we had that. And so, and when I say we, at this point in time, I had brought on an assistant to come and work with me. And she had been working with me, kind of like freelancing with me for like the last, like, maybe, God, now at this point, 5-6 months, right? And she's been like super valuable to me, like beyond measure, right? And I'm actually kind of like building this prototype based off of her, or the type of person who will be similar to her, if forever, any reason I had lost her, you know what I mean? And so she was so valuable to me that I said, okay, listen, I want to bring you on, and I want to pay you a monthly, retainer to stay with me. And I'm going to teach you some more things. I'm going to teach you how to do some different type of work. I'm going to bring you on to some of the bigger projects that I'm working on. She was exposed to a lot of my clients, and, she was helping me with that. So she knew, the vision, what we were going for, what we were trying to accomplish. And now I was just bringing her into more, in different parts of the business. And, I guess the caveat is that like she's pretty young. She's like a senior in high school. I used to be a high school teacher, so that's how I was able to find her, through one of my former students, who I know is also, does things similar to what I do. But either way, man, so she was very valuable. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I gotta keep this girl. I gotta lock her up. So I offered to put her on a monthly retainer to work with me, right? And, the caveat of that is like, I have a small business, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I'm not killing it like that right now. So it's not like I could offer a lot, but I could, show her that I care and, work on creating more in the future. All right. But I just wanted her to, be around. She was so valuable that like, I wanted her to be around. I had created the system so that way, she could still go and get a part-time job, and this wouldn't take up all of her time, but, she would have time to get things done, and she could do them on her own remotely, whenever, however she sees fit. And, yep. And sure enough, because, the technicalities, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but long story short was, because I was going to pay her on a monthly retainer and pay her as a freelancer, that means that she was going to get 1099 and not W-2. And for some reason, her dad actually was just like, nope. You know what I'm saying? Like, no 1099, right? Like, it's got to be W-2. And ironically, he owns a business, so he's a 1099 guy. And I guess, he didn't want that lifestyle for her. So, that's fine. It's their decision. It's their house, their rules type of thing. So, unfortunately for me, she was just like, yo, parents are shutting it down. Can't work for you no more. This is the last week. And I was like, come on, man. And it sucks, man. But the funny thing is that like, I wasn't even that upset about it. Like, obviously I was, because I was like, man, like, I'm bummed out, like, because like I said, she was super valuable to me, man, but things happen, and like, I done had so many setbacks at this point now that like, I don't even feel like I blink anymore. Like, she told me that the other day, and I was just like, okay, here it is again. Here's another thing. So it's like, once again, it was at that point where, I could see the vision. We had the prototype in place. And here's the thing, though. And I guess the silver lining in the clouds here is that, I during the build mode, I built the prototype so that way, if I ever did lose her, I could plug somebody else in, and that's exactly the situation. So, I built it so that way I can quickly get somebody in, who has some type of base knowledge of what we're already doing, or, how to use the systems and the softwares and the programs that we're already currently using. I don't have something to teach somebody from day one, but if somebody has just a base general knowledge, I have some training, systems put in place so that way they can get onboarded, quickly. And, so that's where we're at right now. So I was in build mode. We had got the build prototype basically put together, and then it was going to be, right now I'm getting into a position to go back into growth mode. That was mode I was in like earlier. When I like first started my business, that was that growth mode, and those different strategies I was using to grow and get new clients. And, I kind of got away from that. And so now I'm getting back to that, but I'm coming back with a brand new prototype that's more clear, that's more defined, you know what I mean? Because before it was a little vague. It was like, oh yeah, I kind of do this and I kind of do that and I kind of do the other thing. And now I'm coming back more focused, with feedback, with case studies, with customer testimonials, you know what I'm saying? And a real clear vision on, what it is that we do and how we do it and what we offer, you know what I'm saying? And so, yep, got another setback. But, setbacks aren't losses. That's one thing that I have learned. I mean, you might take a temporary loss. You might, get pushed back for a second. You might feel like the world's caving in, because everybody's setback is a little bit different. Thankfully, mine's have been just kind of like growing pains setbacks. I want to put it that way, like growing pains, you know what I mean? But it hasn't been something that's been like, it's not like bankruptcy or something, where I went like completely all the way out. But I mean, shit, even after that was to happen, that's just another setback, and it's not a complete failure. So, that's one of the things I kind of want to stress today, is that setbacks aren't failures. All they are is setbacks, man. And you just got to learn from it and then look at the opportunity that presents itself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, so I guess I actually had my first employee really quit on me. It's like kind of crazy, dude. So like I actually had somebody quit on me, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is, dude. But yeah, man, so that's that, but your setbacks aren't your failures, man. They're just, something there to kind of maybe say, hey, take another look at this, let's reevaluate this. And then how can you make it better going forward? And also, what do those setbacks, what opportunities do they offer, right? Because setbacks offer those opportunities. Like I said, in that first major setback, I had the opportunity to look at my business, see what I was doing well, see what people were actually paying me for, and create a prototype, right? That was on the first setback. So I lost a lot of money. I went through a lot of stress, not only within myself internally, but like outside in my relationships as well too. But I learned and I grew from that particular, setback. And now here we are with another setback, but I'm looking at it like, okay, like, well, what's the opportunity? Well, I guess, the opportunity right now is that I freed up some working capital within my business, right? So now, that, portion that was dedicated to her can now be used to create and open up the door for other opportunities. And I don't know what they are right now, and I'll have to look at it and explore it, but, we're just going to keep moving forward, and, hopefully, you keep doing the same if you ever get caught with that setback. So that's just my little thoughts for today, man. Setbacks aren't failures and setbacks aren't losses. All you got to do is just keep moving forward, man, and learn and grow, and, you'll live to fight another day. So until then, people, I'll just be, man, until next time. Peace.